I think that with these three powerhouse publishers here all adopting those business models, what we're seeing now is free-to-play AAA games become less of a trend and become more of a standard.
Vengeance is mine.
Hey, what's up guys? Sly Elliot back at it again. I've been gone for a minute, had to fix my laptop, and then got bit by a dog and had my finger fucked up for a little bit, still is, but we're all good. We're all back, getting back into the swing of things. We're on board once again with the boy, with the one and only Not So Ninja.
Hello.
We have a lot to catch up on, you know what I mean? A lot has happened. We got some new updates coming for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which are really exciting. We're going to take a look at this new trailer for a new Zombies map. And this is free? This is going to be a free update?
Yes, sir.
Pretty rad.
Yes, sir. Ski.
As you guys know, they had the free weekend for Zombies a week or two ago. Had a lot of fun on that. And it seems like maybe that was a little primer to get people's, you know, so that when this came out, they were inclined to buy it. I'm really interested in the story being so much more rich in like the new Cold War Zombies compared to how it used to be. It's really fascinating. And I think that the Zombies mode is so solid. It's so solid in this iteration of the game.
Yeah, the gameplay is clean, and I think that just like the Easter eggs and stuff, man, like the narrative portion of Zombies is a lot more linear than it used to be, and I think that's a good thing because it got really, really off the wall there.
It did.
In Black Ops 2, especially near the end of Black Ops 2, it was like, you know, what are we doing? Like, what is going on here? Why is this as complicated as it is? Like, you need trained cryptologists to figure out a Call of Duty Easter egg. For you know, it got a little extreme. I think that Zombies is a little more simplified now. I like that. And
well, mechanically, it's actually, I think, the most complex it's ever been. And I think maybe you disagreed on that a little, but I think from what I've experienced, mechanically, it seems more complex than it's ever been. Yet it feels smoother. It just feels like less of a rigid, you know, when I play Zombies in Cold War as opposed to when I was playing it in Black Ops 2, for example. In Black Ops 2, like, there's a strong meta, and if you deviate from it, you kind of won't do well, and that's just what's going to happen, as opposed to with like Cold War Zombies, where it kind of feels like there is different play styles you can kind of have. There's different things you can do. There's different guns you can use. It's just more interesting. I feel like it's a deeper gameplay than we had before. Right.
It definitely is. And I like that it feels a little more alive, and like what you do in each game is kind of like counting towards something long term, and it you know, kind of progresses you forward. You can level up your weapons in Zombies, which gives you access to attachments, right? And you can take those weapons with attachments into the next game now, and you have, you know, you're stronger than you were last game. You can exfil and basically win Zombies and get bonus experience points to level up and crystals. I wonder what they're gonna do with the Ethereum crystals thing, because it's kind of like, you know, right now, me for example, I know that I have everything maxed out already on those crystals, and it didn't take me very long to do that. It kind of seemed like, okay, you've gone to round 25 and extracted 6 or 7 times, you've completed the progression system.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think that I hope that they plan to expand on that a little bit with, I mean, we're going to be getting a new perk, right? We're going to be getting new weapons, and we'll see what happens, what their plans are moving forward for upgrades and Ethereum crystals, and how they're going to kind of keep that alive and give it some continuity between maps. Because yes, having new maps and a new Wunder weapon and a new Easter egg with each map is a good thing, but you definitely want to keep those efforts that you made for the game's quality of life, like something with Ethereum crystals, to keep going, right? You want to keep that quality of life there. You don't want it to kind of be like, okay, well, you played for a few weeks, you grinded through it, congrats. Yeah. Now you're just kind of playing to play. Yeah. You definitely want to keep people engaged, and I'm interested to see if, you know, you have the mastery camos both in multiplayer and Zombies now. There's separate camos, and I wonder if they're going to add additional mastery camos or mastery challenges, the kind of the way they did with multiplayer in Modern Warfare, where the game launched with the diamond, or I guess it would have been platinum, and then Damascus camo, and then about halfway through the game's life cycle, we saw the addition of the Onyx camo for mastery there. So I'm interested to see what kind of quality of life changes come this year with the addition of the new zombies maps and new seasons, because it seems like they built a foundation. Obviously, since then it's been inactioned, since we really haven't had much in the way of zombies content, excluding a game mode or two like Jingle Hells. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that, part of why they want this update to be free is because it is iterating on a platform that they want to have people coming back to, and it's going to add more, build more onto the foundation that's already there, as opposed to just being like what we've seen in the past. Oh, it's just another map. You're not just adding another map anymore. You're adding more robustness to the gameplay systems, to the progression systems, and everything like that. So it kind of necessitates almost that you allow all the players to get that, because what it does is it's going to extend the lifetime of the experience for all players across the game, as opposed to just the handful that have the money to buy the DLC. And I think that's a great model. I think that's a really great model. And it's that kind of model that I think a lot of people are going to look at and say, maybe if I haven't pulled the trigger on Cold War already, I'm going to now, because that's a really cool thing to see that we haven't seen before in a Call of Duty game. It's just, Modern Warfare had free DLC. They were moving towards that. But to have a whole new zombies map for the first time, just be totally free like this and be as major as we know it's going to be. We've had like little freebies here and there in the past, but nothing that's seemingly of this scale. And I think it's a step in the right direction, and it really seems like Activision at least understands the value of not putting every new piece of content behind a paywall. And I think that's really cool to see finally a huge publisher like that coming around to that idea.
Yeah, I think that when you look at the fact that it's going to be free, the fact that they've been trying to give people, well, I say free, you still have to pay for the game, right? But like the additional content is free, and you're allowing people to kind of get trials of the game and zombies. You're really helping keep the player base together, which makes everyone's experience better, right? Both the people that play a lot and would have paid for the DLC, and the people that wouldn't have. Now you have this experience where everyone, it stays fresh, and you have so many people playing that it's a unique experience every time. You don't really get matched with the same people. I don't think there's skill-based matchmaking in zombies. I wouldn't put it past them.
Put it past them.
Yeah. I don't think that you're just getting matched with the same Diamond Division Zombies players every game. But I think it's healthy for the community.
Yeah.
And you can tell from the earnings when you look at Cold War and Warzone that it hasn't really impacted them as a business and how much money they're making either. So
right, not negatively.
Right, exactly. So nobody's taking an L,
right?
Certainly, and then it seems like at least the community is taking a W.
It definitely seems like both on the developer and publisher side and the consumer side, since Modern Warfare came out, it's been nothing but W's, and I know people had their reservations about the gameplay, and obviously we have reservations about skill-based matchmaking, like some of these little things, but for the most part, profits have been there, the player base has expanded, and people are playing Call of Duty more than ever before, and that's indicative of, obviously, there must be something there that people like. I think it's good all around, and it's really cool to see these new business practices kind of be implemented by the most successful franchise in gaming, because what that's going to do is it's going to trickle down, because we all know every developer loves copying Call of Duty and whatever it does that's successful. So what we're going to see is other developers and publishers follow suit and say, well, we'll just do it for free. We'll release free content. We'll release more free trials because it worked out so well for the best franchise, in the industry, and we want to copy that. And I think this is a good thing to copy, so hopefully we see more of this.
Of course. And I want to highlight on that, because we talk sometimes about trends in gaming, and previous videos discussing Halo or Call of Duty, we've talked about developers following trends and taking things from other games. But we also talked about, specifically in our Halo Infinite video discussing the Battle Royale, not only trends, but further than that is standards.
Yes.
And I think when you look at what Microsoft is doing with Halo Infinite's business model, you look at what Electronic Arts is doing with Star Wars Battlefront's business model, and you look at what Activision is doing, I think that with these three powerhouse publishers here all adopting those business models, what we're seeing now is free-to-play AAA games become less of a trend and become more of a standard.
Yep. I think that is awesome. It's only better for the consumer, and it seems to be working out for the other companies as well. So I totally agree with you. I think it is, we're seeing it become a standard, and I think it's a good standard. We had for a long time some really shitty standards in the AAA games industry, and it was like that for a while. You know, microtransactions, loot boxes, all these things kind of got worse and worse and worse and worse until it kind of hit a fever pitch. Everyone said, I'm done with this. Enough is enough. I don't want to engage with this anymore. I'm tired of this. And then we saw a shift in those trends, and I think this is in a way more positive direction. And the map, you know, as far as the actual quality of the content, the map looks really cool. The setting looks really cool. It kind of has a bit of a Shangri-La vibe to it. At least it reminds me of that. And
yeah, I got a Shangri-La kind of a moon vibe.
Yeah,
it looks like you can go through the teleporter, and you've got two different areas of the map to play in. So.
Right. Yeah, they look totally different. Like somewhere on a military base, and then somewhere in like the village. But I think, at least from what I can see from gameplay, it seems like this is going to be a hard map. Like, I think it's going to be harder than the previous map, and the mini boss looks really difficult as well. It looks like something that moves way faster, something that might hit harder. It could teleport around, because there does seem to be a bit of that going on with this. Really, there's a lot of wacky stuff going on in this map with messing with that teleportation and everything like that. This might be a really difficult map given all of the new zombies that we're seeing, these new mini bosses and everything. And it seems like a few points in the map can also get pretty tight, pretty hairy to train around in. And we also see this like ether crystal machine, which, like, I don't know what that's going to be all about, what that's going to do, and what role that's going to play. And the Wunder weapon also looks really cool.
Honestly, the one from the previous map, I wasn't particularly impressed with, to be honest with you. This new one kind of looks like, at least at first glance when I saw it fire, it looked kind of like a new take on the Sliquifier, almost, is what it reminded me of.
Really?
It's what it reminded me of when I saw just the way the weapon looked and the way it's
true.
shot and everything.
That's
true.
The
actual structure of the map, it looks very confined, like a lot of tight spaces, walkways, railings, kind of like Varuk. Super tight quarters, difficult to get around on in some areas. The military base side doesn't look quite as compact as the village side does, but if you played Black Ops 3 Zombies, mainly Shadows of Evil or Revelations, when you're looking at the boss zombie for that map, it kind of looks like the Margwa. The kind of their new take on this ether storyline.
Yeah, you're right.
Margwa, so
it does look like that. That is what it reminded me of. That's totally right.
It kind of looks like they're taking inspiration from things they've done historically, whether it be World at War, Black Ops 1, or Black Ops 3. And that's not a bad thing, right? Because it looks like everything they've kind of called back to so far is like good stuff that the community actually liked, right? So switching it up, making improvements, making it fresh, and putting it out. And I mean, I know that it didn't go over fantastically with a lot of the community that Nocturne and Toten played such a large role in that first map. But I mean, that's kind of what we get back to, right? When the content's free, you can kind of expect a little less originality and creativity in it sometimes.
But this looks like a totally from the ground up map. You know, it doesn't seem like there's anything.
I will say I noticed immediately from the trailer that the village area is cut from the campaign.
Right.
At least a lot of it is in its design and how you move about through it. So that's from the campaign.
And it dropped into a different game mode like Zombies, you know, from campaign to Zombies. Plays totally different, and, you know, is still, I think, going to feel like a different experience. But given the change of game mode and the change of style of play.
Sure. And there was originally a lot of speculation that this Zombies map, Firebase Z, was going to have elements and assets from Shino Numa in it, the way that Die Machina did with Noct, because originally Firebase Ripcord is a military base in one of the campaign missions, which is actually the one where you're in Khe Sanh, Vietnam, where the village is cut from this map.
Right.
And originally, you can clip out and go into Firebase Ripcord, which you only see really from helicopter view during the mission in the campaign. And there's a lot of map design and layouts there, including the signs and everything from the original Shinonuma map, like the doctor's quarters and all of that stuff is there in the campaign for Firebase Ripcord. And a lot of people assumed, knowing that this map was going to be named Firebase Z, what we had there in the campaign that you could clip out and go see was kind of going to be the foundation or the baseline. It looks like they kind of moved away from that and used the village section of that campaign mission instead. I also noticed that the trailer doesn't particularly give you a great scope of what the military portion of the map's going to look like. So maybe we will still have some Shinonuma elements in there. Maybe they're just they're concealing that.
I think it's common for them to reuse assets, especially if you don't actually travel to the location, boots on the ground, that they would just reuse assets because you're not going to see them up close and who cares. But it is a very weird, specific detail to use Shinonuma elements on purpose in that situation. And yeah, I think that's valid to pick up on. I'm really excited to see what they do. And I agree too. I think they've narrowed the scope of what you can see in the trailer because they want a lot to still be very surprising when you go and play it. And I think there will be a lot of surprise around the corner when we actually get on the map and realize, kind of what it all looks like and how it's really laid out. All good things for Cold War as a game, and all good things for the player base.
So we don't know if the plan is going to be for there to be, a new map every season, every other season. We don't know exactly what the model looks like.
Right.
We still haven't kind of tapped into that. But
Cold War's getting a lot of other updates too, league play and all that, which I think is also really exciting.
Absolutely, man. The future looks pretty bright for Call of Duty right now. So
if you guys enjoyed this video, if you have any theories about what this map is going to be like, what we might find in it, leave a comment down below. Let us know, do you think we're on the money or not? And if you enjoyed the video, like the video, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and go follow Nice Guy Ninja on Twitch. His link is in the description. I think he's gonna hopefully be streaming a little more Call of Duty in the near future, so keep an eye out for that.
Yes, sir.
And we'll catch you on the next one.